to another episode of the CAAT Center's Artist Spotlight. Today we're here with Karla Gray of the Gray Experience. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself to start off?
Yes, my name is Karla Gray. I'm a native of Twin Oaks, Pennsylvania. I went to the Chichester School District, graduated from Edinburgh University, and I am an entrepreneur, small business owner, and I love what I do.
Nice. So because you work in the community, I'm kind of interested in what your childhood was like.
I had a great childhood. I participated in a lot of things. I played the clarinet for over 15 years. I can read music. I played the clarinet and the bass clarinet. I participated in step teams and drill teams. I did dance, but I always had a passion for kids. I do remember special people in my life that took time to groom me into who I am. Some people are still here, some people are not here. But the good thing is they really left a mark in my heart to help me help other children. I can remember my kindergarten teacher, the impact that she left on me. Some people don't even remember who their kindergarten teacher is. So being an educator, I really try to leave an impact on children's lives. I take it very personal because I don't have children myself, so they're all my children. And I really go hard for all of them as if they were my children. So yeah, it's a good thing. Overall, I participated in church. I've always been a member of Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, which is right down the street. I went to daycare there. My first summer camp job there. Went to college, came back and worked there as a teacher. Became the director for 5 years there. And then I kind of started on my own. Collective Talent actually began within my classroom. So I was a preschool teacher, and I had 13 beautiful children that we used to put on programs for Christmas and Thanksgiving. But I found that they had a lot of talent at 3, 4. So me being the creativity, person that I am, I just like to take it a step further. I took music that they would hear on the radio, familiar sounds, beats that they like, and I would put positive things to it. Little things that I wrote, or little poems that I found, or little things that they just shout, and we put on shows for their parents. It really took off because other kids wanted to join. And again, it was just a classroom presentation. But these parents, we really gained close relationships. They wanted to stay in my life. So it's not a normal thing for you to get the same group of kids every school year. Well, this group of kids, their parents had me when they were 3, they kept me at 4, and they kept me at 5. So this was a special group that had 3 years of training with me that you wouldn't normally get in a classroom.
Right.
And we had a young father, Robert Mitchell, who was coming home from Iraq. And I had his daughter, and she's about 23 now. Her name is Shanae Mitchell. And Shanae has become a wonderful entrepreneur. She's a photographer, she's a ball player. And I can remember the news coming, and they came to salute him. We saluted him. He was like 19 or 20 maybe at that time. And he came home. That was a blessing. So that kind of really started my platform with allowing children to dance and be recognized on a higher level.
Okay, so that was the start of Collective Talent.
That's how we got to Collective Talent. Okay. But I've always been a teacher. That's my passion as far as my, what I do it from day to day. Collective Talent was kind of a hobby, but I am a dancer myself.
Right.
So even back in the day, I used to dance in different groups. I was a part of the King's Kids. And they did a lot of things to get recognition. And there was a lady named Tracy Hall and Company. She was out of South Philly. Amazing woman, amazing dancer. She inspired me so much. And just to share with you, You know, when you join organizations as a teen or an adolescent, sometimes you don't feel like you fit in. And I didn't fit in. I wasn't part of the in crowd. I didn't hang with the group all the time. So I felt like an outcast somewhat, but I still participated. Well, as I got older, I took a passion for it with my classroom and dancing and combined the two.
Okay.
And then it was just funny, you know, seeing some of the people that I used to dance with, not to necessarily say they were treating me a certain way, it's just how I felt about myself at the time. And most of them don't even dance anymore, you know, but I kind of kept it. You know how you're not even in the teacher's eye? Like, do they even know me? You know, did you recognize me? And that's what it was. Miss Hall was our teacher, and I didn't really think that she recognized. She probably didn't, you know, but now Miss Hall knows my heart. She knows my passion. She knows how hard I worked over the last 20 years. Just putting forth love to kids and allowing them to recognize their talents. A lot of them don't even know that they can do what they do until they're given an opportunity, which I don't think I'm a professional dancer. I really don't. You know, I take classes myself, but I'm a professional school teacher. And it's very easy to conflict the two. But collective talent was more or less, it is a movement that we put together to reel children in to get the necessary skills that they need to survive.
Got you.
By using dance. That's how we got them in. Oh, that's a dance group? I want to be a part of that. But they don't know that you have to have a certain GPA to even rock with collective talent. You can't dance if you don't have A's, B's, and C's. We don't tolerate this. So there's certain expectations and accountability that these children have to meet, along with parents. And sometimes you get great dancers, but you get people that don't want to be accountable.
Right.
Sometimes you get heavy accountability and less talent. So again, we balance each other out, we help each other out, and I think the most heartfelt part of collective talent is knowing that 90% of my participants, and it's been 1,000+ kids in 20 years, they all become something. At least 90%. They've attended state colleges and universities. They're entrepreneurs. I have pediatric nurses. I have realtors. I have small business owners. I have school teachers. And one of my preschool babies and collective talent participants is one of my lead teachers here today. She graduated from Newman University with a dual major in special education, and I knew her since she was 3. To see her here, work with the children, to know that I used to carry her on my hip. Some of the children that I have, I've had their parents. You know, it's very rewarding for me to see the cycle.
Right. So real quick, let's take it back to the beginning, because you just gave us a lot, and I just want to make sure that people catch it. So, for you working around kids, you see the talents in them and stuff like that. You see that they're creative at a young age. Who was the first person to see that you were creative?
Probably my parents.
Okay.
Probably my parents. They we always have music in the house of some sort. I will say I respect my mom for pushing me to try different things. I see kids that come in, even in collective talent, it might not be for you. You might want to join because it's the hot new thing on the block, but when you get in and see the work that needs to be put in, it could be very discouraging because you got to put in work. So my parents, I would say, a lot of my educators, my teachers, they always made me feel that I was creative or had a creative eye. I could always dance from day one.
What age was that when you started dancing?
Whew.
Did your first pirouette?
Maybe 4.
4?
Maybe 4.
Okay.
Maybe
but you were
4.
singing before that?
No, I don't sing. I just play. I played the instruments. I played in the band, the marching band, the concert band, the jazz band, all of those things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did growing up in the church, Mount Pleasant, have anything to do with your career path, would you say?
Absolutely, because I got a lot of experience at Mount Pleasant. If it wasn't for Mount Pleasant giving me the opportunity to be a summer camp counselor, every year I kind of just got a little bit more and more in me. Being around professional people, being around love, you know, I don't push religion off on, I respect everybody's religion, but I will say being in the church and working in a place where you could participate in your religion, it really helps get you through the day. It helps the children be calm when you pray over the children. It helps you have a clear frame of mind of what you need to do with them. And the fact that we're safe, throughout the day. But Mount Pleasant, they gave me my shot. Ms. Joanne Nichols, she was my director at the time. They gave me the shot. And it's funny because I keep in touch with her. She actually lives around the corner from here, and she sent her grandkids here. And it goes into like the Keystone Stars program, which is one of the questions that you had on the list that I was going to talk about. But just to see me go from no stars to 4 stars. And she introduced me to the Keystone Stars program. So it's like it's hard to describe the feeling. Mount Pleasant gave me discipline. It gave me, it taught me how to be sociable in a respectful manner. It taught me value. And it motivated me in a lot of ways. I don't know, a lot of people in this area know Mr. Harry Woodhouse. Mr. Harry was an awesome musician, but he had a lot to do with youth. And he was one that also guided me. He motivated me and he inspired me to help children the way he did. He just gave himself. It wasn't a script. It's just a natural thing. If you can deal with kids, they'll naturally come to you. They'll naturally want to be with you. And I think I'm just blessed to have everybody's kid want to be interacting with me or something that I have to offer.
That is the best feeling in the world when a kid likes you. Because kids are so innocent. They're not going to gravitate to anybody.
They're brutally honest. So if they telling you they don't like you, they probably don't like you.
It's a reason.
Just to be honest. Yes. Just to be honest.
So moving on from childhood to young adulthood, when you went to college, you could have majored in anything because you're super talented. But you chose early childhood education with a minor in African American studies. Why is that as opposed to dance or something in those fields?
Opposed to art. I would say I didn't even go to college to be a teacher. I went to college to be a doctor. That was my primary goal. But just being honest with you, when I got hit with biology, chemistry, labs, physics, all kinds of stuff, it allowed me to see that I wouldn't have time for a college life to really experience what the college life was about. So I was walking from my class one day and I saw this girl, she had these colorful bulletin boards. My creative side, my antennas went up and I'm like, where are you coming from? And she's like, well, I'm a school, I'm a teacher major and they have an elementary school here on campus that we get to go and, student teach and do different things. I instantly went and changed my major and I've been there ever since. So I didn't go into early childhood. I actually went for elementary education. And I did spend some time in the charter school, and before even opening my own, I didn't open my own until 2015. So I really had to get experience in a lot of different areas of the early childhood profession to understand what to do. But yeah, that's what it was. I changed my major, and it allowed me to have fun. It allowed me to join SGA and all the other organizations to learn, and that's one thing that I passed off to my students, whether you're a early childhood student, aftercare student, or a collective talent. The thing is, college is where the party is. That's where it's at. You're going through issues in high school, you're going through issues in middle school, but guess what? When you get to college, that's where the real party is. And college isn't for everybody, but there's a trade school. there's something that has your name on it. Laziness is not an option. Not being accountable is not an option. You know, but you need to be able to survive. Technology has taken over. You have to know how to stay up with the times, you know, and that's what it's all about. So I feel like what I learned in college, I've always tried to pass off to my kids, and to know that a lot of them went to college and a lot of them probably make more than me now. Hey, that's great.
That's good.
I
right?
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And that they keep in touch with me. They call me on my birthday. They call me randomly just to say they love me. I mean, you can't even imagine how I feel as a person because of these kids. And I can't do it by myself, of course. So, you know, to all of the people that helped me, especially Miss Yvette, Mr. Taj down there where you just saw Collective Talent, my team here at the school, and then of course when we get into the draping. But yeah, college definitely was where the party was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So after college, how did you start your career? Because I think I heard that you started at the community, the charter schools.
Well, when I graduated from college, believe it or not, I couldn't find a job.
I believe it. Trust
couldn't
me.
find a job. That was back in 2012. Wow, 2012. And I went to work at the mall, and it was so dreadful for me. Oh my gosh. Conquer Mall Express, and I was just like, I want to be with some kids. Like, this is not what I went to college for. But I toughed it out, and then Mount Pleasant called me because they were getting kids left and right, and they needed a teacher, a degree teacher, because they were getting into the STARS program 20 years ago, you know. So I took it. I didn't care how much it was for. I just rather be there, and I knew God was going to bless me eventually. But when I went there, it was the best move I could have made. And that's where I met the Little Blessings. The Little Blessings was my first classroom. That's the group of children that started Collective Talent. It was just something where I learned a lot, but I was able to give a lot. The parents, a lot of them, that was that baby boomer year, 98, 99 kids. And it was a lot of young parents, and they were trying to find themselves. And I was young. I was 22, you know, and now these kids are 22, you know, that I was taught 25 years ago. So helping parents become better parents, that's an awesome thing. You know, someone to be able to look to you for help, to say, I want to be a good mom. I want to be able to guide her in the right direction. What should I do? I'm honored that somebody would even ask me that, and I don't have kids. But I study kids.
So much experience.
I love kids. I study them, and even down to my babies. I don't even know what they're saying. They don't know what I'm saying, but I'm talking to them. I said, really? Who did it? Tell me who did it, you know. And because from the smallest to the oldest one, I listen to them. I think that is what the connection is. As parents, you got to hustle and bustle. You got to get dinner made. You got homework. You got this. You got your job. You're listening, but some of them don't get to listen the way they should listen. And that's where Kokar comes in. My kids call me Kokar. So that's where they come in. Yeah.
It's awesome that you realize that, because it is a lot on the parents, and like
it is.
Yeah, we can't always have time to listen to our kids, but I wish we could.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Gray experience, which is what you're in now, the season of your life you're in now. What service did you offer first? Because there's 3 of them.
Out of the 3, Collective Talent would have been the first legal entity, because it's been running the longest. This is 20 years. But I've always been in childcare, so it's kind of hard. It wasn't the Children's Clubhouse wasn't in existence, but I was still a teacher. So how you see Collective Talent and my daycare kids kind of go together. Yeah. But I would say Collective Talent would have been first out of the 3. Then the Children's Clubhouse, of course, and then K-Nadia 360 Unlimited, which is my custom draping and event decor. I'm really into draping. When COVID hit, when the pandemic hit, Nobody knew what they were gonna do. I'm home twiddling my thumbs. I'm like trying to figure out something, and I came across a young lady named Precious Stevens of the Posh Academy, and this is primarily out of Georgia. So studying her videos, listening to her tutorials, I was able to teach myself her draping technique by learning from her on there. And it's just really taken off. I think more or less because it's not something that's done here in the part of the United States. I mean, everybody has parties, everybody has backdrops, but I think it's, when you see my backdrop, you can kind of tell it was mine because of the fabric that I use, or what they call swag, where the curtains actually drape into a certain shape. So that is my passion, the draping, but I will do a full party. Okay. I do also offer the 360 unlimited, the 360 photo booth. All of those different things.
They are hot right now. Yeah. So that was a smart move.
Yeah, they all come with the event decor business. And the Gray experience is just my overall brand of the three. So if you've had me in school, if you had me in dance, if you had me for a party, you've experienced the Gray experience. So that's how I came out with that. It's very hard to be contacted in 3 different lanes, so I really needed a central location. Right. But there are 3 separate websites. So when you go to thegraceexperience.com, you can see things about Collective Talent. You can see the alumni, all of the celebrity photos and things that they've done, major things that they've done. You'll see the new generation and what's going on now. You see different apparel that we have. You know, kids like to represent. I still got KT alumni that wear shirts and stuff like that. And then you can also see the services that I provide with the draping, or if you want to enroll your child into the daycare. And I know one of the questions, not to get ahead, but the daycare, it stands out above other daycares, in my opinion. One, because of the quality. I'm not into I don't need a great big center to do what I do. My spots, my enrollment spots are very competitive to get into, and it's because I accept everybody, all nationalities and everything. It's just the fact that you have to be accountable here. If you're not going to do what you're supposed to do as a parent in my program, the program is not for you. It has nothing to do with the children, but to be in a Star 4 facility, because you're ranked from 1 to 4 in the state of Pennsylvania. And I made 4 last November. So I'm one of the 4s in this area, thank you. And it took me 20 years to get there.
Listen,
20 years to get there. So I really need them to know, you know, we may know each other, we may have a relationship. It's not even about, I have relatives that want to be here. But if you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, it's not for you.
So the parents are in the program too, essentially.
Basically.
Yeah.
I can't have your child if I don't have you.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Not just because it's Miss Karla and I know she's going to keep them safe and I know she's going to do this and I know she's going to do that. I need to see you. I need you to ask questions. I need you to be involved. When we have things, I need you to be present.
Yeah.
Because there's other parents that would like this spot to do those things.
Yes. So how competitive is it? Like, how many kids do you let in?
Well, we are only licensed at this location, is this side and the next side. So we have 2 duplexes. So I don't go over 15 children.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't go over 15 children. We have before and after care. We have summer camp, which some of these kids that are here during the school year, they're done. So now I got summer camp spots. So they go very quickly for summer. But I have had some of the same children that leave out of here to go to public school. Their parents is not going to let them go for it. So they stay for summer camp, where I know they keep them on the list. So yeah, that's how it works. It's been great. My niece runs the other side, one of my babies, you know, and she's a grown woman now, and she got into daycare with me. You know, she worked with me at the charter schools, just following me. Yeah. You know, my sister's daughter. But yeah, it's been a great experience. I mean, I'm just now trying to fall back a little bit. out of the daycare scene so I can focus on my draping and events and collective talent. Because I gotta balance it out. Like, I'm only one person, so I gotta do a little bit.
Only 24 hours in a day.
That's what I say all the time. As an extension of K Nadia, I had an aunt that passed away a couple years ago, my dad's sister, and she was really into like bling. So when you look at my backdrops, like, you'll see little diamond pieces. I now create them and sell them to the draping community. And it's called the Karla Gray collection. So it's a part of the Gray experience. So anytime you see people with these, what they call tie backs for drapes, it's all because of her. So that's something else. So it's always just trying to give something. I don't know. I don't really look for anything. Collective Talent's a nonprofit. Never really made any. Wasn't out for money. You know, my daycare, that's my livelihood. That's what I do. And the draping, it was just more or less trying to pass the time with the pandemic. But I love it. I love to see the end product. I love all the colors and the techniques and different heights and all kinds of stuff. So now I'm getting into perimeter draping. I do a lot of flower walls and shimmer walls and LED lights like this. I kind of incorporate everything. Thank you. So that's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's awesome.
Thanks.
So with Collective Talent, I know that y'all have a big milestone coming up. 20 years, right?
Yes.
How's that feel?
It's a lot of work. I'm humble, but it's a whole lot of work to get here within the next month. But 20 years to see all of these kids in one room, see what they become. Some of them are mothers and fathers. I mean, it's just going to be breathtaking. It's a formal event. I mean, hopefully you guys can come past, and maybe talk to some of the alumni, talk to the new children. And I just want to have something to say to all of them. Like, if I left the next day, this earth, I would just want to share with them the impact that they made on me and so many other families just by coming together and doing what we did. So many memorable moments, moments that they would never forget, people that I've never thought that I would be able to meet or interact with. Some people that we actually came face to face with and didn't even know who they were because we just didn't know, but it was a wonderful experience. And again, like I said, it was just to reel them in to do what they needed to do. We use dance as the key. That it wasn't to say they were going to end up being a dancer, which I do have a professional dancer. She's down in Atlanta. And when I say, I sent her audition for me when she was 6, and she ended up in tears. But when I say she's like backup dancing for many concerts and all kinds of stuff. I mean, she said to me, Miss Karla, thank you for giving me my first dance class, introducing me to dance. And this is what she does for a living. And she's phenomenal. And when it was sent to me, I cried like a baby. I cried like a baby when I saw her perform, and she still looks the same, just a woman. Yeah. Those things are just unbelievable for me.
It's stuff you can't pay for.
You can't.
You sparked it.
You can't. I mean, and just all the people that's ever supported Collective Talent, bought anything from them. When you have a group like this, it's hustle and bustle. We're inner city kids. We struggle. Parents struggle to pay for costumes and classes and all of that. So we have options where these children can go into the community and ask for a sponsor, where the parents don't have to pay. You're a nonprofit. You can write it off. Give this child $20 for a class. And we say thank you to the people who support it, the people who sell tickets and chances and sell anything that we have. It always support the kids. So right now we're looking to get their uniforms. Some parents may not have to pay at all because of the work that they put in. You know, it's all about what you put in. And I wish that parents just continue to invest in their children. You can't expect to get anything back without investing in them. You have to give up that time. You have to give up those coins. You have to. And it may come back 20-fold. It may come back 5-fold. It don't matter. But as they grow, they'll never forget the experience. They'll be able to apply it to their everyday life to survive. To survive. That's what it's all about. And when I say survive, we're not talking about knocking somebody in the head to take something. Getting it on your own. Feeling good about it. You know what I mean? Knowing that you did it. You didn't give up.
Right.
Because I'll be ready to give up every day. Every day I quit. They don't even pay me no mind no more. But I've quit a lot in 20 years. But it's always something that just says, keep going. Keep going.
Got it.
Keep going. And I've had many barriers. I've had many no's. I had many she can't. I have many haters that don't even know me, but you just don't like what I do because you can't do what I do. That's the difference. I'm not here trying to, it's a dance and mentoring program. I'm not here to take over anybody's dance school. But what I do is to get into the heads of the children that I work with, to take care of the needs of the families that need my help. And that's what we do. So KT, I've dedicated my life, 20 years, to bettering them, bettering the next child, the next generation. And to know what they all have become and seeing the different reports that I get is just unbelievable. So the reunion, I don't know how it's going to be. Hopefully I get all my pictures and stuff before the crying and stuff happen. But
it's definitely going to be some tears.
Oh, it's going to be something. I mean, we've had, this is important. We see moms all the time. We do. But me, I am a firm pusher for my dads to be involved. My dad has been to everything. My dad just dropped kids off down the street just for me now. He's done everything, and my mother with me. And they're not even together since I was 9 years old, but they know how to co-parent that well to benefit me. And when I say the fathers that I've had in the group are riders for us. There's been times where they security, they've carried kids home and to and from. They've lifted whatever we needed carried and lifted.
Real men.
But we've lost some, over the years. And I think this reunion also, I would love to pay respect to them. The ones that we're missing, that came to every performance, that yelled and screamed for collective talent. You know what I'm saying? So I had kids that wouldn't even get on stage because their dad wasn't there yet. My dad not here yet. We can't go in yet. You just have no idea what being a real parent is to kids that are involved in extracurricular activities. You have to be there. That's what makes them go. That's where the light switch comes on. Yeah. That's where you know if they're going to be able to go forward. And I can't say that I would be sitting here talking to you or doing anything that I would be doing if I didn't have that support of both of my parents the way that I did. Mm-hmm. Every concert, even when I hated playing the clarinet after a while, it didn't matter. They were still there. Even if they didn't want to go, they were still there.
That support means everything.
So that's what I try to share with the families that I have. These are my ways of helping them, by my experiences, my feelings, just some of the stories, just how the kids ended up in the group. The lady at the center right now, Yvette Benson, I didn't know her. She's been here literally 15 years. She was a parent of a child that saw us perform. She just lost her father in a motorcycle accident. She didn't want to cheer. She didn't want to do nothing until she saw collective talent. And once she got in the group, she had 2 left feet. A little bit of rhythm. She did her best. But when I say the training, she danced for 15 years, become one of my top dancers, and she's considered a collective talent diamond. But her mom don't even have kids in the group now. She's 23. She came in when she was 6. She's 23. Her mother's still down the street mentoring children that are not even hers. It's a family. It's a movement. It's what we here to do.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully when I'm gone, there was a legacy left. That some of those, for the reunion, some of the diamonds and the alumni are actually helping me. So they're going to run this reunion. They're going to speak. And to hear the psychologist come up and speak, or the school teacher. I got 2 psychologists.
Nice.
You know, I'm just, it's unbelievable. And not to be near disrespectful, some of those children have surpassed their parents. And I'm just keeping it 100 with you.
That's what you want as a parent. You want your kids to do better.
You can't be mad. They did what you wanted them to do. Now, if you stood still, that was your issue. But to see some of them surpass their own families, and they didn't think that they could, it's unbelievable.
Awesome.
The first to get a degree in their family. The first to graduate. It's unbelievable.
It's dope. And that's all thanks to you. As a member of the community, of this community, I say thank you. It's so well needed. Everything you offer, from the Children's Clubhouse to Collective Talent, so needed, because idle hands are the devil's playground, right?
Absolutely.
So, thank you.
Absolutely. You're so welcome. I appreciate the invite. And you've been professional through this whole thing. The phone calls and the preparation of the questions. I really think, I wish you both success on what you're doing. And hopefully you get to speak to 20 Me, you know, just to get more and more insight as to what's going on here in the community. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, of course.
I do.
We wish you continued success as well.
Thank
and
you.
Let them know where they can get Collective Talent reunion tickets.
Yes.
Where they can find everything about you.
You can go to thegrayexperience.com and you can find everything there. There's one central location. You can go to thechildren'sclubhouse.org, or you can go to knadia360unlimited.com.
Perfect. And here, that's another episode of Artist Spotlight with Karla Gray.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.